This blonde beauty is practicing dancing, but she was in front of a stranger. He took off his clothes directly. Beauty is so unrestrained. Just because this strange man in front of me can't see anything anymore, he is a blind piano tuner. But when you carefully observe, you will find that he was staring intently at the dancing beauty, a beautiful woman who has finished dancing. I couldn't help but give him a sweet kiss. Do you know why he pretended to be blind? Pretending to be blind has many benefits. Not only did they receive more tips, and people will also be more friendly, and their vigilance will also decrease. Can make men discover many small secrets, but people make mistakes. The horse has a corpse. Pretending to be blind is not always a benefit. This day, the man received an order. When he arrived at the client's house, I just realized that this is actually a murder scene, but he still has to pretend that he hasn't seen anything, because in the eyes of others, he's just a man, but he is clearly in good health. Why pretend to be blind? Original. A man is a highly talented pianist in an important piano competition, but he was too nervous, not fulfilling one's talents, lost the game. From then on it became decadent and unbearable. He began to become withdrawn, enclose oneself, maintaining one's emotions by taking medication every day. My girlfriend also left him because of this, but he managed to survive in the end, becoming an excellent piano tuner. Even the boss has to praise his professional abilities. There is an endless stream of people looking for him to tune up, but at the same time he also found that the matter of a man impersonating a blind person. The man looked at his furious boss, World Series owners. The man even told his boss he pretended to be blind. Others will feel that his other senses will be more sensitive, and a blind voice mixer is not common. More people will hire themselves out of curiosity. Blind people seem harmless. Others will also be more relaxed after a man pretends to be blind. Instead, I found the joy of life, and he also regained his confidence. But the boss is not satisfied with men's small cleverness, because once exposed, my immediate superior was the first to suffer. But men have a plan in mind. I have achieved great success in my acting skills. Faced with a boss surprise attack, as firm as if they had seen God before. Subsequently, generous checkout, invited the boss to a meal. Can be too proud. It will make people forget the details. The worse the details, the worse. More flaws, and the more flaws, the more dangerous they become. This man put on his beautiful pupils, pretending to be blind, just to make more money for myself. He is a door-to-door piano tuner. Being blind every day can earn twice as much money, and through this identity, he regained the confidence he had lost due to losing the game back then. You can also satisfy your perverted voyeurism. Can be effective for a long time. Make him gradually become more and more bloated. My own details are getting worse as I work on them. Anyway, no one can tell. Just play around a little bit. Little did he know that it was precisely because of this thought caused a fatal accident to oneself. This day, he came to his home to tune up according to the customer's request, but after he rang the doorbell, but no one responded. He opened his notebook and confirmed that the address was not available, and then he rang the doorbell a few more times. Someone answered inside. Turns out to be the client's wife. She told the man, her husband is not at home today. Ask him to come again another day. But a man is like a goddamn plaster, standing at the door and not leaving. He told the woman, I am a blind person. It's not easy to walk alone. And they didn't even cancel their appointment with him. Just drive her away like this. It's really disrespectful of people with disabilities. The woman had to open the door and tell the man. He just didn't expect the man to come so suddenly, and from the man ringing the doorbell to the woman opening the door, the entire process was seen by the old lady in front of her. Why is his expression so solemn? Because he saw a man who claimed to be blind. View the appearance of the notebook. Even more eerie is, the male host across the street didn't even go out today, and the man with this expression didn't see it on his back. But the woman in the room was watching. Immediately after, just listen to the sound of the door lock 3 times. The woman looked surprised through the old lady's expression. I suspected it early on. Men, just in case. He unlocked the door, just entered the house. The man rushed into the room. As a result, one foot slipped and fell to the ground, until the woman lifts her up. Say, his home is preparing for decoration. I accidentally knocked over the paint bucket myself, but the man noticed at this moment that his clothes were not covered in paint, but blood stains. And there was a corpse sitting in front of him. This woman brutally killed her husband at home. The husband's right temple was shot 3 times with a nail gun by his wife. But her face is not ferocious, and sitting upright on the sofa. The clothes are also very neat except for the blood stains on the right side. And when the woman opens the door, there's no blood stains on my body either. There's no trace of a fight at home either. All evidence indicates that the husband did not resist. Is it the husband sitting at home, requesting his wife to kill him? One answer is, male leaders are truly blind. That's why I died so calmly. Because she didn't even know she was going to die. This can also explain why the old lady made such a surprised expression. Because elderly blind people like this. I won't go out alone. And because women spend a long time with blind people, so we conducted a test on men, to determine if one's suspicions are correct. Women force men to sit down, and the man instinctively leaned against the piano at this moment, and looked back at the woman. At this point, he deliberately avoided the body in front of him. but her old nervous habit has returned, unconsciously staring at the body, watching a man's unnatural behavior. The woman also showed a murderous aura. Her next step is to confirm whether this fake blind person is dangerous. He pretended to borrow the reason for getting his clothes dirty. Let the man take off his clothes. Change him into a clean man yourself. I obediently followed suit. This also makes women more certain, because the weakness of men, at this time is completely different from the tough attitude outside the door. Obviously, I saw the body. Sure enough, he was flipping through men's clothes. Flip to the notebook. What does a blind person need a laptop for? Even men have noticed this. Quayo's wife doesn't have it. Women wearing high heels, silently walking behind a man. Men don't dare to ask at this moment. Why don't women give themselves clothes? She doesn't dare to do her own job either, but silently playing the piano. He thought, as long as you keep playing, women wouldn't have killed him. But the woman didn't do what he wanted. Actually, when a woman walks away, it's a great opportunity for him to resist, but he still put it on. Why? Because he thinks everything is still relatively stable. He is unwilling to take risks. That's absolutely right. Write a note on your letter. Be exposed. It's very likely that you'll lose your job. It will also make one's life once again bleak. And the woman walked behind him. He doesn't know what's behind it. It's precisely because of his timidity and fear of the unknown, causing his death. If a woman attacks him head-on, even if he's too timid, she will also make a counterattack, because that's human instinct. But the woman behind him didn't expose him. Her timidity and fear, forcing him to maintain his status quo ante, and the original state is to pretend to be blind. As a result, he died. So it's a coincidence that he died. Very restrained. Many people are as timid and cowardly as he is. It's just that I haven't encountered such a deadly situation like